Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, and this time reviewing on the Amazing Spider-Man 2012 film review. Now, as you know, the Amazing Spider-Man films were meant to be a new reboot, a new clean slate, and a new kind of story that was directed by Mark Webb from 2012 to 2014. Now, after the disaster of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 film and plans for Spider-Man 4 being cancelled in 2010, had caused the studio to kind of quickly try and do a reboot as quick as possible. So pretty much getting Mark Webb in, they kind of produced this kind of, how can I say, this copycat, more kind of almost similar film to the 2002 film. Now, pretty much the premise of the film is about Peter Parker learning about his parents, much like Hey Arnold in Hey Arnold, where Arnold learns more things from the journal as well as from his grandfather. So, throughout the movie, we have Peter basically doing the same thing like in the film. Basically gaining his spider powers from genetically altered spiders, much like the 2002 film, only with it being in Oscorp, Uncle Ben's death, which has happened much differently, as pretty much the person who mugs him looks like the actor who played Lightning McQueen in the film Cars, and pretty much it does feel like the film copies a lot from itself. For example, you've got basically Dr. Connors, who is meant to be a mentor and friend to Peter Parker, who, much like the Green Goblin, injects himself with a serum and doesn't really develop a split personality, but at first he has a heart of gold, but the serum kind of screws him over. And what's interesting is, much like the film itself, has a big climactics at the end, where basically New Yorkers help out Peter Parker, like crane workers, much like in the 2002 one, where New Yorkers throw stuff at Green Goblin and that to help Peter Parker. And I would say that, yeah, it does seem like they just took the first film, altered it, and just made it a similar version. So I do feel there were moments that they actually do better with. For example, they do redeem Flash Thompson and try and help him be there for Peter Parker. I do feel like with basically the Oscorp executive, I think they could have went with Spencer Smythe instead, because I just feel having a different a different executive that doesn't really match with the character. And I do feel Dennis Leary would actually have made a much better version of Norman Osborn. I feel like he does have the humor and more kind of sinister personality of Norman Osborn, but I feel him being George Stacy kind of gives that sort of edgy father feel. And I do admit Andrew Garfield isn't a bad choice for Peter Parker. I do feel like, yeah, he does look slightly younger, and he does have that sort of, like, jokeful charm to him. But again, he's no Tobey Maguire. And I feel Emma Stone actually does a decent job for Gwen Stacy, as she's not really shown to, be added in there, but instead meant to be Peter's first love interest. Now, there are moments I do feel the film could have been better, like Gwen not learning about Peter's identity just yet. I also kind of feel, personally to me, is that you could have had Norman Osborn in the film as well as Harry to kind of be to be Peter's backup friend, to be the guy who's there. I just feel like the movie in general is boring. It doesn't really know what it wants to do, and it seems to copy a lot of elements from the 2002 Spider-Man film. And I think if you had someone who could, look at the script, then you've got something that's almost completely similar. Now, to me, the film isn't the best I've seen. I think there was a major room for improvements, but to me, when looking at it when I was much younger, it looked good, but now older, I kind of feel the film isn't the best I've seen. And this is definitely not one of the best Spider-Man films. I feel with Homecoming, as well as the MCU version of Spider-Man, you don't really have Uncle Ben's origin anymore, because you already know it, so you have Peter as this kind of, Spider-Man who's just learning. And I feel with the Sam Raimi ones, they actually had some good ideas up until the point with Spider-Man 3. So, to me, is that the film feels like it's copying pretty much the first film. It feels like the whole kind of, son learning about their long-lost parents has been done before, much like Hey Arnold. And I just feel the lizard looks almost like a version of Killer Croc, or just looks like a lizard man sort of hybrid monster. So to me, the film deserves a thumbs down. Not one of the best, the boringest, dullest movie I have ever seen. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.